Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by for yet another video. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you. So I come across this article on Newsweek about Fukushima here, and it said the Fukushima nuclear disaster, radioactive water may have been leaking from the reactors for months. And to be honest with you, I believe it's been leaking for years, not months. But we'll get down here and see what they have to say here. Alright, so the article goes on to say the Japanese company in charge of cleaning up one of the world's worst nuclear disasters said Friday its latest error may have caused contaminated water, let's see here, to leak into the ground for nearly half a year. Now, like I was saying, I believe it's been leaking for years, but they're finally admitting that it has been leaking. It says the Tokyo Electric Power Company, TEPCO, said it erroneously configured gauges used to measure groundwater levels in 6 wells near Fukushima No. 1 nuclear reactor power plant reactors NOS 1 through 4, all of which were destroyed when a March 2011 earthquake and tsunami devastated the Japanese coast and caused a series of meltdowns at the plant. Says the false readings, which have been relied on since April 19th and were discovered this week, meant the groundwater levels were actually more than 2 feet below what TEPCO was measuring, the Japan Times reported. The company said this mistake caused groundwater levels to fall below the limit set to prevent radioactive water from flowing of the plant into the nearby wells known as subdrains at least once in May. It goes on to say here, TEPCO spokesperson Shinichi Nakakuk, I definitely pronounced that wrong, but we're going to move on, said, however, the company's readings did not show any significant increases in radioactivity outside of the facilities and that a leak was unlikely. I mean, of course they're going to say that. I mean, they're going to say whatever they need to do to, not make themselves look bad and not let us all know the truth. I truly believe that this situation is far worse and has been far worse than what they're telling us, whether they keep downplaying it or not. I truly believe that, it goes on to say, though, but between May 17th and May 21st, groundwater reportedly fell as much as 7.5 inches below the safety levels at least 8 times. TEPCO has not been able to determine how long the dangerous levels persisted because they only measure the site hourly. Company officials said they were still investigating the incident, according to Japan's NHK news outlet. More than 15,000 people were killed when an earthquake and subsequent tsunami. We already know about that. No, that's from since the disaster, the plant owner TEPCO has struggled, though, through the recovery process, the price tag of which has been raised to $192 million last year. So, let's go on here. It says lava-like rocks believed to be elusive nuclear fuel were finally discovered in July using a small custom-built robot known as Little Sunfish, according to Sky News. Actually removing the deadly substance, however, has once again been delayed and would not likely begin until 2023, according to Japanese officials. So here you can see here's the Fukushima hot zone returnees. Okay, so right there's the nuclear power plant. This is a map showing the status of restricted areas affected by the radiation from Fukushima No. 1 nuclear reactor plant as of March 6. The nuclear disaster displaced up to 150,000 people, and many are reluctant to return. They should, because honestly, they're not telling everybody what's going on there. This situation is far worse, and they say it's been leaking. This groundwater's been leaking in they claim 6 months. I mean, it's probably going on much longer than that. And then they're going to downplay it and say, oh, it didn't actually reach anywhere outside of the facility, if you will. But that's not true. If this stuff seeped into the groundwater, trust me, it's definitely made its way outside of that contained area, if you will, or that facility. That's just my opinion, but I wanted to share this story because I thought it was an interesting article. I do apologize though for this website because like it lags for me for some reason. I don't know if anyone else has issues with Newsweek, but it literally lags. Like I can barely scroll half the time. So I apologize if that was an issue. But again, I wanted to share this. I may have another Fukushima video up later. I'm not for sure or not, but I did want to share this one with you because now they finally at least admit some that radioactive water has been leaking from the reactors for months. But they're saying that it didn't go anywhere. But that's not true. Like we know, I think if you anybody with common sense knows that it's been leaking for far longer than 6 months, and it definitely has gotten outside their contained or contaminated area, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely made its way elsewhere once it got into that groundwater. We're not stupid. You know what I mean? But anyways, I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for watching these videos and supporting this channel. I hope you keep coming back, and I hope you have a blessed day. Peace.